Previously on Dual Spirit Adventure, I flew to Alaska. Then I took a train in Alaska. My bike was shipped to Alaska to getting stuck in traffic in Alaska. Cold weather camping, taking on the Dalton Highway, to acting like a 6-year-old. Before you judge me, this was literally the most north I'd ever been. Obviously, every activity I did from this point on was my most north activity. Northernmost camping, to northernmost breakfast, to northernmost fuel stop, to northernmost weed. Anyway, it was now time to pack my stuff from Cooldfoot camp and head towards Prudhoe Bay. If you can recall, I had camped at Cooldfoot, constantly consumed by mosquitoes. Cooldfoot was the last place for fuel before Prudhoe Bay, which meant a game of guess gas price. $5.50 here again. Fueled up, I enjoyed the short patch of paved road. Yeah, that didn't last long at all. Anywho, when I stopped for a quick snack, I noticed something unusual.
This key slot is covered with all the gunk. It took me a while to even get it loose and open it. I need to do something about that. Probably put duct tape over it or something.
However, it didn't stop me from continuing north towards a mountain pass called Atigun Pass. Beyond this mountain pass is a barren wasteland called the North Slope, where you don't find a tree for 180 miles. At the end of the North Slope is the Arctic Ocean. Alright, let me give a quick walk around of my bike. Mind you, I'm still 80 miles before Deadhorse, so this is the current state of my bike. So basically everything is gunked up and caked onto. You see the exhaust, it's all gunk, it's all mud and slush combined with heat. And I realized why my engine was running hot. It's because of this. The radiator is all clogged. Here's the underbody of my engine. If you can see, that's the oil filter. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting to it. And pretty much the same left side. The panniers look decent. That's because I'm taking them on and off. Whatever mud was on that is on me. And coming to the back, disgusting. I can't even see my license plate. The key slot has been giving more problems. So I decided not to lock it for now until I fix it or clean it. And I realized why my brakes weren't working or were not as effective, because it's got mud all over it. Yes, so this is the state of 300 miles on the Dalton, and I only got 600 more to go. Shit. 2 rather cold hours later, I finally see some signs of civilization in the distance.
But over there, in some distance, the towers that you see are undoubtedly from Prudhoe, which signifies the end of this road, which signifies that I'm approaching the northernmost tip of the northernmost highway in the world. The skyline of Prudhoe looks like a scene from a sci-fi thriller.
Too bad my GoPros derped on me. They died before I could get any sort of usable footage from Deadhorse. Maybe, like me, GoPros don't like the cold weather. Anyway, I stayed in the Arctic Oil Field Hotel in Deadhorse, which cost me $155 a night. Way over my budget limit. I could live for weeks with $155. But it was a cool little place to stay, I must admit. And a hot shower after a cold day of riding was very welcoming. But here's what impressed me the most. It came with unlimited food. I'm gonna eat like I haven't eaten in 5 days. Which is probably true. Recharge, it was time to explore Deadhorse. If you're wondering what those electric grids are in Deadhorse, Alaska, this is what they are. They are power supply for block heaters. Let me explain. So in winter here gets so insanely cold that engines freeze up and do not start. So every car or pickup comes with this sort of connection. I don't know if you can see this sort of connection which plugs into these grids, which will prevent engines from freezing over, so you can crank the engine the following day. I've never been to a place this cold before, and this is the hotel that I'm staying behind me. As you can see, it is a bit elevated. It is not on the ground. At this point, my microphone shut off. I blame the cold weather for it. So I have to voice over what I was trying to explain here. Basically, the ground here is permanently frozen around the year, also called as permafrost. If the building was built at ground level, The heat from within the hotel would melt the permafrost and the ground would cave in on itself. Not a good situation. Hence, structures are built 6 feet above the ground to allow cold air to pass underneath to keep the permafrost. Deadhorse is more of a work camp than a traditional town. It was developed to support the big oil business here. Buildings are modular, pre-made and situated on gravel pads on tundra bog. Literally everything you see here supports the oil drilling or pipeline maintenance.
That gate you see behind me literally is the end of the bloody road. Behind that gate is private property which belongs to BP, British Petroleum, and behind this private property is the Arctic Ocean. So obviously you cannot take your personal vehicle in through their private property to reach the ocean. So that is why you need to take a tour which runs through the property. It's called the Arctic Ocean Tour, which I am doing tomorrow morning at around 8:30 a.m. I think. So for my motorcycle, this really is the end of the road. This really is the northernmost you can ever go on a vehicle, on your personal vehicle.
Celebratory pose. Also, here's another cool thing about summers in Alaska.
It's almost midnight here in Prudhoe, Alaska. Look where the sun is. Somewhere over there. So the beauty of summers in Alaska is the land of the midnight sun. So there is no sunrise, sunset. Around midnight it will stay over there. That's kind of like northwest. As the time passes, it comes over there northeast, and it just goes around all day, and it ends up here at the end of the day back at northwest. Isn't that cool? It does play with your head though. Your sleep cycle will be upset, but it's pretty cool.
Meanwhile, back in the hotel, this sign confused me for a second.
You guys confused yet? Yes, I am too. Turns out booties are shoe covers that come over your boots, so stuff doesn't get dirty. Yeah, you can call me immature for finding that funny.
Right, the following day, I'm in the tour bus, Arctic Ocean bound. My GoPro had a mind of its own again, and I lost all footage from within the bus. Tour was informative, gave an overview of Prudhoe Bay oil drilling operations. But honestly, I was only there to get to the Arctic Ocean.
Alright, here is the Arctic Ocean. It is cold! Oh my god. A brown kid from India. I don't know if I should be doing it now. Woo! Alright, we got nothing. Whoa! Oh, it's so good.
Water was bloody cold, and I'd probably never do it again. But hey, Ed March, I one-upped you there by taking the dip and not just touching pinky toes. Just kidding, man. You're an absolute legend. Keep doing what you're doing. This is also where I end my second episode. I mean, what better place and time to end than a dip in the Arctic Ocean and hypothermia setting in, right? I had literally reached the top of the planet and probably will never ever get further up. Taking a screenshot on my phone, this is where I had ended up. I also took a couple of pebbles from the Arctic Ocean to fling it into the Antarctic Ocean when I get to Argentina. Sadly, for now, I had to turn around and leave the Arctic Ocean behind. What an experience this has been. And now, for me, the only direction to go was south. How does that go? You'll find out in the coming episodes.